In this video, we're going to look at 180-degree rotations. And even though we're saying counterclockwise here, the same process for rotating 180 degrees clockwise, it's basically the same idea. Even though the movement of rotating counterclockwise versus clockwise, that's a different motion, you're still going to wind up at the same spot regardless of if you're rotating 180 degrees counterclockwise or 180 degrees clockwise. So let's start by rotating a point. We're going to rotate the point M 180 degrees about the origin, which is 0, 0. So in this case, 180 degrees, it's a positive number, which means that we're actually moving in a counterclockwise movement. But like I said, the same idea works for counterclockwise or clockwise 180-degree rotations. So the idea here is that we are trying to form the angle of rotation. And so the angle of rotation here is 180 degrees, and that's going to be a straight line. So when you connect the pre-image to the center of rotation and the center of rotation to the image, you should be creating a straight line. So we know that M should be somewhere down here in the fourth quadrant. We can find the exact location by just finding the slope from M to the center of rotation, which is going down 2, 3, 4 over 1. So we just want to go from the center of rotation down to 3, 4 over 1. And that's going to be M prime. And as you see over here, the center of rotation we said was the origin. And if you connect M to the center of rotation to M prime, that does form a straight line. Obviously, if you draw like me, you probably want to use a ruler, but that's going to be an indication with that straight line that you rotated correctly, 180 degrees. So now we're going to rotate this triangle ABC 180 degrees about the point 5, negative 5. So I like to start by plotting my center of rotation. So we're going to go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down 2, 3, 4, 5. So now it's a matter of just finding the slope from your pre-image to the center of rotation and using that same slope from the center of rotation in the correct direction to plot your image points. So let's go ahead and find those slopes. So from A to the center of rotation, we're going to go up 1 over 6. So now at the center of rotation, we're going to go up 1 over 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and label that as A prime. We're going to follow this process for B. So B to the center of rotation is negative 9/4. So we're going to go down 9, right 4. And then the slope from C to the center of rotation is negative 11/6. So now we're going to go at the center of rotation, down 11, right 6 units. You might have also noticed that the distance from C to B, basically you go down to right 2, and you're going to see the same thing here, down to right 2. So you can use that relationship to help you as well if you don't care for counting so much. But if you look, connecting A to the center of rotation to A prime does get you that straight line. And we want that straight line segment because that's going to give you your straight angle, which is 180 degrees. And we know that rotations, when you connect the pre-image to the center of rotation to the image, that it's going to create the angle of rotation. And so if you rotate it correctly, you should be seeing that angle of rotation. Obviously, we hope that these are straight lines. You can always use a ruler again if you need to see that more clearly. So we're just going to do one more example, and then we're going to wrap it up. So we're going to rotate triangle ABC about the point 2, 1. So let's find those slopes. And I'm going to show you another way that you can do this without showing so much work on the side. So if we look from A to the center of rotation, we're basically going up 2, 3 over 1. So then we can go up 2, 3 over 1, and that's going to be A prime. And again, if you want to eyeball it or actually draw from A to the center of rotation to A prime, that does create that straight angle. And it's also preserving those distances that we need. So from B to the center of rotation, we go up 1, right 2. So we go up 1, right 2 at that center of rotation. And label that B prime so we know it's the image. And so C, we go down 2, 3, 4, 5 over 1, down 2, 3, 4, 5 over 1. And we can go ahead and label that as C prime. Connect your points. And then as you can see, the shape, it's the same shape, same size, and rotations shouldn't be changing shape or size, so we know that's correct. Connecting our pre-image to center rotation to the image, we see that we have those straight line segments. And we also see that the orientation, the way you go around the points, is preserved, which is a property of rotations as well. So as you go from A to B to C, we're moving in a counterclockwise motion. And then A prime to B prime to C prime, we're also moving in a counterclockwise motion. So again, we know that there are many ways to check that we did rotate this correctly about the point 2, 1.